is the reason why I still believe in the alt season. And this is what the alt season actually means. Without a significant drop here, you can't say that the alt season has happened already. It won't make any sense because this is what defines the alt season. This drop right here was the alt season of the previous cycle, and the one before that was this drop right here. There is no alt season without a drop here. Now, just in case you did not know already, this is Bitcoin dominance. When it goes up, altcoins go down. When it goes down, altcoins go up. This big move right here since 2022 has been Bitcoin season. Usually, and by usually we're just saying with reference to past data, which is not really much, but we don't have anything to go off of, yeah? So with reference to past data, the big crash for Bitcoin dominance comes in the beginning part of the post-halving year. This time around, that did not happen. And we've had many more things that usually happened that didn't happen this time. In fact, even things like the diminishing returns on Bitcoin did not happen this time. Bitcoin went far higher than it should have if it was following its diminishing returns, which one could say is because of the institutions like BlackRock and Vanguard coming into the markets. But yeah, it just did not happen this time. This time around, we went far higher than we should have if we were following the diminishing returns. Another thing that is happening right now that never happened before is Bitcoin dominance still being up here at about currently at 59.85%. So like before, it topped here in December of 2020. Now remember that 2020 was the halving year. Yeah, so the post-halving year, we just had a big move to the downside here on Bitcoin dominance, which meant that altcoins were seeing like 20x, 30x, 50x for most altcoins. This time around though, it's still up here. Now, if you want to make the case that this thing is still going to go up and go above what, 65% right here, we could have that discussion. But it's showing us that eventually it will have to come down. The problem is we don't know when. And I get your fear of going into 2026 because following our usual market trends, that will be the bear market. But what's to say that it will not be? Because as you've seen, we've been doing a lot of things that we did not do before. So how do we know that 2026 will be the bear market? We really cannot know. Now, strictly off the chart here, my projection for Bitcoin dominance was that it's going to top at about the 2.618 right here. So 2.618 is this yellow line right here, and the 3 fib is this line right here. So you can see 2.618 and 3 fib right here. Those were my maximum zones, and according to Fibonacci, that should be its top. Put in the previous cycle, you also see that it topped at the 2.618 right here, had a slight move up, but that was ultimately its top. And really, that's what it's doing right here. As it descended to the downside, I told you that, hey, I think this thing is going to have a bounce back to the upside. And I was telling you when this thing was somewhere around here, I was telling you that it's most likely going to go back to the upside. Why, you might ask? Well, because this is the ABC, yes? So we have the 1, 2, 3 right here, and I could actually project that if I zoomed into the lower time frame, but I don't want to make the video long. So after the 1, 2, 3, you have to have a move back to the upside that goes above 50%, so it retraces more than 50% of the entire move to the downside. And that was this move, or what you see as the wick right here. Now, I was actually hoping that that would happen in a Bitcoin rally, but it did not. It happened in the previous market crash. So altcoins suffered a lot as this thing went to the upside right here. Now, by going to the upside, it actually means that money is flowing from altcoins into Bitcoin. So many traders and investors were in the very deep fear mode as Bitcoin dumped. That's why this thing moved to the upside right here. They exchanged their altcoins for Bitcoin. However, it followed the theory of this thing retracing more than 50% of this dump right here. Now, after that retracement, you'd want to see now another correction like so. The key to that correction will be to close a weekly candle below this support right here. Once this support is broken, and that support is about 57.80, once that support is broken by a weekly candle close below this level right here, we'd be going to 53%, which is what I've indicated by the red arrow right here. Now, 53%, which is this level right here, will be a point of support, but I don't really see it holding that much. I think it's going to hold for some time, but you'd probably have some type of retracement like so, and then a continuation of the move. And that move now will be going to somewhere around 45 to 40%, which is where I think this thing might find its bottom. And all of that will be at least a 25% move down for Bitcoin dominance, which will mean tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into altcoins. But when this will happen is what we do not know. We might as well be going into 2026. And currently you can even see here that this thing is currently using the 50 EMA on the weekly right here as resistance, which is a good sign. So it remains to be seen, but that's the analysis for Bitcoin dominance. And I just have to stick by this. Yeah, I can't say that the altcoin season will not happen or the bull market is over while this is showing me this. I just have to stick to the analysis regardless of what the time is. Yeah, we've done a lot of things that we did not do in the past, so we don't really have to depend much on what has been happening in the past to project what will happen this time around. Yeah, I know that 2026 usually, if we're following our usual market trends, should be the the bear market. But how sure are we that it will be the case? Yeah, we've also, well, this year, 2025, was supposed to be the bull market, especially for altcoins, but it did not happen. So how can we be sure that 2026 will therefore be the bear market when what we were expecting that should happen this year did not happen?